Hello there, and welcome to another episode of Articulate Thoughts, a personal blog of mine where I express some ideas, thoughts, experiences, and observations about conscious dance, which is a movement practice that uses dance as a form of moving meditation. And today I'll be talking about the idea of sanctuary. And my personal sanctuary exists in nature, and I could deepen that sense of safety and refuge and solitude in my dance. And in the past couple weeks, I've been going out in nature a lot, and I've live in a house that's kind of located by the Bow River, and I've been there more in the past 2 weeks than I have in the past 6 months. And I think a big reason for this is like there's a big challenge in my life that I'm confronting right now. And I took a workshop about 2 weeks ago and was presented with some very challenging things. And the deeper I dove into those things, more stuff came up, and I'm just have a really big thing on my hands right now. I'm in the process of changing a core fundamental belief that's been holding me back for my entire life, and it's been something that's installed into the hardware of my brain and you know downloaded through the software of my belief patterns and systems in my body when I was only a week old. And it wasn't a conscious decision, it was just something that happened in a natural path or whatnot. But here I am with this, and I gotta do the work necessary. It's gonna take some time and some effort, but in the end it will be worth it because this is a big setback in my life. And dance and nature have been very, very therapeutic for me during this process. And I feel with nature, it's a very neutral and grounding element or combination of elements. And I could just go into nature and listen to music, and that safety and that support will be provided. There's no conditions attached to it at all. So that's why I've been spending a lot of my time. And I think there's something to be said about we're organic beings and we're made from the earth. And I think there's a lot of people out there that don't spend time at all in nature, and I think these individuals are missing out on a lot. Because personally, for me, when I'm dancing, and I'm dancing indoors, like inside the city, there's that sense of freedom and expression. However, doing it inside a room with four walls, I feel closed in and limited. My eyes are always focused on something very rigid and straight, and a lot of things that my eyes are taking in are constructed with a very specific function or intention. And then when I'm in nature, it's just completely neutral. Like it just is. The shapes are more round and random, and my vision is allowed to be more soft, and I could take things in from a further distance. And there's multiple things at different distances, and that allows different sense of freedom or a different understanding of reality. And when I look at the sky and I look at the clouds, there's also a very liberating and embracive feeling that I feel from that. And looking at the clouds for me is always a constant reminder that everything is in a state of flux. Everything is always changing because, I'll look at the cloud formation in 1 minute, do a little bit of dancing for a bit, look at the same spot, and it looks different. And this is a reminder that nothing is permanent. Everything is constantly changing, and not to get too attached to one thing or another. And it's also a good reminder that when I'm in a state, whether it's a good state or a bad state, it is going to change. So not to be overly attached to one thing or another. It will change, and everything, which is a transformation process. So, that's my thing. And I also do believe that this whole thing in the music industry about festival culture blowing up, and it's attracting a lot of attention for people. And I think a big part of it is being in nature. Again, dancing outdoors, connecting with like-minded people, and being in a time-space continuum where it's just kind of everyone's putting up the same amount of time and energy and money and traveling to this one spot to have these 3 days, this container of 3 days, and this space where there's just a complete sense of freedom and an opportunity to connect with other people and to connect with nature. And I'm really excited about the summer because I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity for me to connect with nature on a deeper level, and that's something I've been looking to do in the past couple of years. So thankful and grateful for all the opportunities passing my way through that. And yeah, so if you have never tried dancing in nature before, I would highly, highly recommend it. Um, Particularly if you're able to get to a forest or a place with a moving water, like a river or something. There's just something about listening to music and being in nature. I believe it uses the same type of mathematical patterns and algorithms in its construction, and there's a synergistic effect when the two elements are combined synchronistically. Creates a very deep sense of harmony, and if that is being leveraged and used through movement, then there's a very powerful effect that takes place. So I would recommend to check it out, and if not, it's all cool. Inshallah, peace.